That coveted time every week when Ron the Car Guy stops by so we can learn something about your vehicle. And this time we're talking about a vehicle, actually a device that is towed by your vehicle.
I'm going to have to change my name to Ron the Trailer Guy for today.
At least for today.
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. I did some traveling over the weekend and noticed, out on the highway and the interstates, that there's a lot more trailers out there. You're seeing the boat trailers are coming out and the race car trailers.
The campers.
Exactly. And even lawnmowers and that type of stuff. And that just brings top of mind awareness that those items have moving parts and they're not maintenance free. We've got things to consider on that. The wheel bearings and the lighting and even some of the welds and stuff on there need to be inspected periodically. Mm-hmm. And so for that reason, I just want to talk a little bit as people get the trailers out, some of the things that they should consider doing if they didn't do them before they were put away, or if they have no idea when last they were done. And probably one of the bigger things, because this is what's most often seen. You're driving down the highway and you see a trailer sitting off the side of the road, and it's missing a wheel.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that the lug nuts came off or that the wheel broke and came off. What typically fails on that are the wheel bearings, and people aren't aware of those, or they forget about them. They don't think about them. And so I brought an example here. I've got this is what a typical wheel bearing looks like on a trailer, and it's got little rollers. It's designed to spin, but everything on here is metal. It's metal rubbing on metal.
Right.
And it relies on wheel bearing grease that is pushed and packed into this bearing. And that wheel bearing grease wears out over time, and periodically the bearings need to be taken out, cleaned up, and new grease put in. And if that doesn't happen, the bearing overheats, it gets hot, it welds itself together so it doesn't spin, and then it starts spinning on the spindle, and it gets hot, and then it breaks off, and that's what the tire attaches to. Mm-hmm. So this inexpensive, easy little item. This is a great picture. This was yesterday. It was a AAA call. This was on Interstate 80 over past Atlantic.
Okay.
And we got this call, and I mean, the guy's lucky. I mean, the Harley that's on there.
That's a Harley?
Yeah, and I mean, look at that trailer. But
oh, no.
but he was going down the interstate. He was coming back from Arizona. He winters in Arizona, right. And he was pulling that back. He was headed to Minneapolis. And he had a pickup with a fifth wheel trailer. You can see it sitting up there on the left.
Yeah.
And that trailer was hooked on the back of the fifth wheel trailer.
Are you serious?
And where the bumper on the fifth wheel trailer attaches to it, around the welds, it was heavily rusted, and the bumper broke off the fifth wheel trailer.
Wow.
And the motorcycle in that trailer ended up in the ditch just like that.
Geez, lucky it didn't go end over end.
Exactly.
Side over side, yeah.
And he didn't know he lost it. He's driving down the road. He didn't know he lost it. Some guy flagged him down like 5 or 6 miles down the road and said, "Hey, dude, I saw your trailer come off back there."
No way.
Serious. And so we were dispatched the call, and Greg went out and winched it back up onto the truck, and it's at our shop now because he didn't have anything to hook it to. He's going to come back Wednesday and get it. But I mean, talk about luck.
Whoa.
And so that brings the point. I mean, we've got more than just bearings. You've got all the different welds on the tongue of the trailer and attachment points, and even on the hitch. The other big item is lighting. Make sure that your trailer lights work. The bulbs aren't burned out. This is a phenomenal alternative. Is they now make replacement trailer lights that are LED.
Mm-hmm.
Let me mess with the camera guy here.
He loves it.
Yeah. Try to zoom in on that.
Waterproof LED lights.
Waterproof LED. I mean these are put them on and forget it.
And how much does something like that run? Do you have any idea?
These are between $70 and $100 for the pair. I mean, the last time you'll ever mess with it.
And you see all the time trailers with lights not working, and constantly.
Yeah. And the thing to remember, like if you upgrade to the LED lights, don't twist the wires together and put black electrical tape on it. I mean, use solder, make that connection good. Exactly.
What's wrong with electrical?
Exactly. The other item that we've got here, I have a love-hate relationship with these components, and they're called bearing buddies.
Okay.
And these are designed, they actually fit fit on over the hub, so the bearing is encased in here, and it's got a place where you can just pump grease in there to lubricate it.
All right.
So you fill the reservoir up.
Exactly, and that's a great idea. That works real well. But where people get into trouble, especially on like a boat trailer, is these aren't always exactly watertight. So every time you back the boat into the water and pull it out, you get water in here with the grease.
Right.
And the still needs to be taken apart and periodically inspected and cleaned up.
Sure.
This isn't the replacement for doing that. I mean, it's great that you can add some grease and have some extra lubrication, but you still got to take it apart and see what's going on and clean it up, once a year.
So is the theory that it forces the bad stuff out and replaces it with good stuff? Is that the theory?
That would be a great theory. But if it forced the bad stuff out, then that gives a place for dirt and water to come in.
Ah, I see.
And so they're okay if they're used in moderation, but it's not made. It's not a replacement for not doing maintenance.
Doing the maintenance.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
So how often would you want to check something like that?
It depends on how much you actually use your trailer. I mean, if you've got a trailer or a boat and you pull it a couple times a year, then maybe every 2 or 3 years you want to do some maintenance and a walk. I mean, you want to check the lights each time before you use it and stuff like that. If you've got a trailer like that motorcycle was on and you're pulling it to Arizona and pulling it back from Arizona, I'd be repacking those wheel bearings or at least looking at them annually.
That's a long haul.
Yeah.
Well, it is. And you look at the size of the tires that are on trailers, and they're smaller in diameter than on a car or a truck, so they spin faster.
Right.
So this bearing's turning faster. I mean, there's just you look at that motorcycle. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a bike guy. I don't know what that motorcyle's worth.
A lot.
They're not cheap.
More than that trailer.
Right. That trailer didn't look that.
That trailer looked like it was for leaves.
Yeah. Looked like it'd been used quite a bit.
But a couple $100 in maintenance on that, would have salvaged a motorcycle, which in his case he was lucky, but now he still has to drive back down to Des Moines from Minneapolis, pick that up from us and go home. So it's just the inconvenience, and that's the other thing to keep in mind too is the tires on your trailer. They have the same rules on a car. They've got the 6-year rule.
Yeah, they don't last forever.
No, and usually because trailers aren't pulled that much. I mean, not often do you see a trailer tire that's bald or wears out, but they rot. They dry rot, and then they blow out going down the road.
Well, there are some people who are saying, I'll only drag it back and forth to Saylorville 4 times a year or half a dozen times a year. Why would I need to change tires?
There's plenty of tread on them.
Yep.
But the tire deteriorates over time. Rubber, just like plastic, it deteriorates, and all of a sudden that tire is subject to a blowout. And I remember we had a gentleman that they were traveling on the interstate, and he had a dual axle trailer, and one of the tires blew out, and he limped his way to us, and he just wanted to put one tire on, and we showed him, the other 3 are in just as bad a shape as the one that you're replacing. You actually need 4. And I'm not saying that to sell you 4 tires. I don't want to have another tire blow out.
Right.
But he put one on. And he made it about 25, 30 miles south of Des Moines. He was calling us back.
It did happen.
Yeah, because another one blew out. I mean, they're the same age, and they've got the same cracks and dry rot. So, use the 6-year rule. I mean, if your tires are 6 years old, they've got DOT numbers on them and stuff. If they're 6 years old and you're going to pull it somewhere, especially at highway speeds, put a set of tires on it.
Yeah, not worth taking any chances.
No.
Tires might be obvious, but if you're not familiar with all the other nuts and bolts that go along with it, can you take that to a mechanic and say, can you help me out?
You can bring it to West Side Auto Pros. We do everything on a trailer. We can do springs, we can do welding, we can repair the lights, we can do the trailer bearings. Most places I know can do the bearings and probably do lights and stuff. If there's welding needed, I mean, you want to make sure that the people are capable of that and know what they're doing.
Yeah, and you probably want to have more than a bumper hitch if you're towing a Harley Davidson from Arizona to Des Moines or Minneapolis.
Or maybe even Adele.
Yeah. Just saying. All right, so Ron, if people want more information about how they can get their trailer up to speed, what do they do?
Look for West Side Auto Pros. Our phone number is there on the screen. It's 225-9090. Google Westside Auto Pros. You can also find me at askronthecarguy.com. I'll answer, even if you have questions about your trailer, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Good job as always, Ron the Car Guy. See you
Thank
later,
you.
buddy. All right.